What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a great day, and if you're new to the channel too and want to hit the subscribe button, that would help me out immensely. In the last install video, you saw that we installed our Serial9 billet aluminum upper control arms. We got the fitment on point, we got the wheels to sit very nice, no rubbing. And now in this video, we will be installing our rear upper billet aluminum Serial9 control arms, as well as our spoon racing rigid rear subframe collards. And like our front upper control arms, these are billet aluminum, a beautiful anodized green, offer a wide range of adjustability, as well as ease of adjustability by the left and right side here, simply by just removing your wheel. Brand new ball joint, significantly lighter than stock, and also these offer generous airbag clearance. And for our rear spoon racing rigid collard set, there's the part number there. This essentially sits in between the subframe and the body of your chassis, thus eliminating all slop in the subframe under harsh conditions. I have these installed on my R32 Nissan Skyline, front and rear, and it made a significant difference in handling. So this job isn't essentially difficult, providing you have the correct tools, but it's definitely going to be time consuming. Before I get roasted in the comments, this is not how I will be working. I will be definitely securing the car much better, but just want to get a feel on what I'm getting myself into. So essentially we need to lower the rear subframe a significant amount. For the rigid collards, our rear set will be going in between the Serial9 bushing here and the chassis. So essentially just sit right in between here. And then for our rear, it's gonna sit in between the top bushing there and the body of the car. And then also in between this bolt and the bottom of this bushing. So again, we're gonna have to go ahead and remove the exhaust again, the drive shaft again, coilovers, just to swave our end link. For the rear upper control arms, coilover of course, the ball joint that holds the knuckle, and we're going to have to remove the axles as well, because I don't know how I will be able to get that bolt right there dead center on the screen without removing anything. I definitely should have waited to get my rear control arms and my collar set and do it as I did my solid bushings that I did 2, maybe 3 months ago, just to make the job easier. But it's okay, I do need to fix my diff. I got some weird chattering noises, and I did not know that once you reinstall your diff on the X90s, you do have to essentially slide it forward with a pry bar. So we're gonna go ahead and do that as well when we're tying everything back up. Hopefully that eliminates my diff chatter. So first I'm thinking we install the Serial9 upper control arms. Probably make things a little bit easier. So first step is to remove the axle. My axle nut was a 32 millimeter. Yours might be different depending on the life of your car. Next, we'll go ahead and remove the axle bolts that connect to the differential, and these are going to be 10 millimeters. Finally, got the axle removed. A quick tip if your car is slammed is to undo the coilover bolt, which is a 19 millimeter, to give you adequate clearance to drop the axle from the stub without it binding. Next, we're going to go ahead and remove the rear upper control arm, 2 bolts and nuts here, which are 17 millimeters, and then we'll go ahead and dislocate the ball joint from the rear knuckle with a ball joint remover tool. Getting this arm out took a lot longer than it should have, but we finally managed it. The bushings are relatively shot. The ball joint was relatively shot. This is a 19 millimeter, and again, these are both nut and bolt 17 millimeter. I did not have any ball joint remover tool that provided me adequate space to remove it, so essentially what I did was grab my trusty punch and what I refer to as Thor's hammer, gave it a couple of lug taps, and we got it free. Went ahead and wire wheeled the upper portion of the knuckle. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is throw in some white lithium grease. Then take our stock X100 arm, measure it up to our Serial9 arm, and try to get the Serial9 arm as close to OEM spec as possible. Alright, well, definitely can't tell on camera, but there's already a lot of positive camera going on up top there, so I'll definitely have to adjust before I put the wheel on, because I guarantee it's not going to fit. But there we have it. Sorry guys, I'm very limited to space with my low car. Very nice fit. The only sort of flaw I found was after you put the control arm on, it's a little bit difficult now to get your bolt holding the knuckle to the coilover. Essentially, if you did the bolt first and then put your upper control arms on, it wouldn't be an issue, but going from arm to bolt proved a little bit difficult, and even down here, there's just not a lot of room to get the bolt fully seated on this side, so I went ahead and reversed the bolt. But other than that, looks good. Now we have the Serial9 rear collection looking good. In terms of the bolts that connect to the subframe, I did 50 pounds, 50 foot-pounds. A ball joint, I went ahead and did 60 foot-pounds. And then the bolt holding the coilover to knuckle, I also did at 50 foot-pounds of torque. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the next day, and unfortunately, I have some bad news. Unfortunately, I had to uninstall the Serial9 arm because I had no more room for negative adjustment. Unfortunately, the helms are a little bit long, and again, couldn't adjust these any more negative to clear. These are a little bit longer than my stock arms, and right now these are currently maxed out. And as you saw when I had the arm in, there was a ton of positive camber, and me trying to adjust them and fit my wheel just wasn't going to happen. So I have the rear arm back in, everything bolted back up, and I already went ahead and contacted Serial9. These are their Sports Series rear upper control arms. So these adjust -2 from stock all the way up to +8, and their Oni series I believe goes to -2 from stock down to -8. I'm thinking if I can just get different helm joints, that'll definitely help, but I'm not too sure if the actual arm itself is different opposed from the Sport to the Oni, like if it's machined differently. But if I can just get different helms, again, that'll solve all of my issues. All right, so regarding the last clip, I have found some very interesting information. I just remembered that these arms are fully serviceable, so as you can buy new ball joints, and I can also buy new heim joints. So essentially what I'm thinking is cutting about 1 inch off of the thread here, so I'll have more adequate clearance to have more negative camber to get the wheel where I want to sit. Will do no damage at all. And worst comes to worst, if I cut too much, I can always buy a new heim joint of similar spec. But first I'm going to take confirmation and make sure that the Sport arm and the Oni arm itself are the same specs. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and full send cut the heim joint bolt. I measured 1/2 inch, triple checked my measurements, matched the other heim joint as well. Then what we'll do is use a tap and die kit to just evenly clean out the thread and make our adjustments on our arm accordingly. Which I guess I really won't know how much extra I need to cut off until we seat the arm again and mess with alignment, but I'm pretty confident in myself that 1/2 inch is all we need. All right, just got done lobbing off that 1/2 inch to confirm it does thread. Super stoked about that. I went ahead and just filed down the surface just a little bit so it's more flat. Now let's see how much more adjustability we have on the arm connected. Family, it is perfect. That 1/2 inch is all we technically needed. I wish I would have done this in the first place. Would have been way done with this install already. But if you remember before, it was, well, obviously a 1/2 inch longer, and now I believe with this extra 1/2 inch, we should be able to retain this fitment. If not, bring out the wheel a little bit more. A quick comparison before I lob the right side. That 1/2 inch really did quite a difference. Absolutely perfect. Well, at least I hope. So again, if you are interested in these arms, I would highly recommend you buy the Oni series. Everything again is replaceable. If you need to service the ball joint or the heim joints, you can get these at your local auto parts store, providing they carry it, or anywhere online. All right, the new rendition of the rear upper control arms are in. I measured these twice. They are about 1 inch shorter than stock. Got everything torqued to spec, 50 foot-pounds. The jam nuts just incredibly tight. The shock here, got it at 50 pounds, and then the ball joint I torqued down to 70 foot-pounds. Cleaned the hub, axle I just did about 150 foot-pounds. Already went ahead and test fitted the wheel. We have good clearance. Oh, I've been at this for the longest time. It has actually been about 5 days since the last clip, and I'm incredibly stoked that these now fit. And on that note, everybody, I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go eat some lunch. I'm going to knock out the other side on my own time and enjoy my actual final day off. But driver's side went successfully. Again, measured the arm, the stock arm, and it was significantly shorter, which is good. Next up is the Spoon Sports rigid collards in the rear, which I will be making a separate video on since this took up a lot of my time. Reach out to Serial9. They have shorter Heim joints on their website. If you guys accidentally run into the same issue I did, in my case, the Heim joints that I got were a little bit longer than what they normally put on their control arms. We got the issue fixed. Everything is resolved. A solid, good quality control arm. Cannot wait to get the collards installed so my rear subframe is nice and aligned, and I cannot wait to get the final-ish alignment on the Mark II, at least for a while, because I may or may not have some expensive aesthetic exterior goodies coming late September, early October, but you guys will have to find out. And I also have a ton of content I need to get started on today as well. So thank you everybody again for the continued love and support. And if you're new to the channel too and wanted to hit that subscribe button, that'd be awesome. And remember, aim high, drive low. I'll catch you next time. Take care.